Anne Beall is the author of Community Cats, A Journey into the World of Feral Cats. Ooh, it sounds kind of, wow, where is she going on this journey? Well, there are a lot of feral cats in America. It's something you, Anne, decided, I'm going to research this. I'm going to kind of figure it out. And one of the solutions, in fact, really, I would argue the only solution that kind of works that we know about is Trap-Neuter-Return. And you studied that too. So big question for you. Who are these feral cats? And tell me about Trap-Neuter-Return, often called TNR.
So these feral cats are cats that live all around us. There are roughly about 90 million cats that live outdoors all the time. The majority of them are stray and feral cats. And Trap-Neuter-Return refers to programs that trap these cats, they neuter them so they can no longer have kittens, and then they return or relocate them to an area where they can do some good. So in some cases, they are deployed to places where there are rat problems. In other cases, they're deployed to areas where they have a caretaker that looks after them.
Yeah, and with the caretaker looking after them, their quality of life generally isn't horrible. In fact, can be pretty good, really. And then, because they are spay-neutered, obviously they're not reproducing and continuing, if you call it a problem, perpetuating the problem.
Yes, as you know, cats are extremely effective when it comes to reproduction. So people like myself are really interested in reducing the stray and feral cat population, and this is one of the most effective ways to do it. And there's a lot of research that's been done on this topic that shows that around the world, in places like Rome, in places like Maryland, in places all over the country, when you take feral cats and you trap them, you neuter them, and then return them to an area, their numbers decrease.
And what we must know, because you wouldn't be here talking about this issue if it worked, is the previous, quote, solutions did not work. And the most common previous solution was animal control facilities using employees that they had would come out and try to catch as many as they could, come back to the shelter and do one of two things. They would either try to adopt these pets out or these animals out, which I would argue don't make great pets, and you can talk about that, or they'd instantly euthanize them. Why didn't this system, which is still, there are communities that still try to do this all over America, all over the world. Why doesn't that work?
Yeah, the typical approach has been a trap and euthanize approach. And what that does is it traps the feral cats, takes them to the animal pound, and kills them. What happens, unfortunately, though, is that there's a food source that those cats are feeding off of. And what that does is it encourages other cats to move into that area. It's called the vacuum effect. It's been documented with many different types of animal species, and it's been well documented with feral cats.
Why can't you adopt these cats out?
Well, you can't adopt them because they haven't been socialized to live with human beings. The best I think that you can get is some of the feral cats will let you pet them and let you get near them. Usually it's a caretaker, but largely they can't live indoors. They're not used to living indoors. They're not used to human beings. And I mean, as a colony caretaker, and my husband feeds them, by the way, every day, they still aren't really all that comfortable with him. So they're just not really prepared for an indoor environment.
And the other thing that's been tried, lots of other things have been tried, from shooting cats to rat poison and hoping the cats eat the rats that are poison, or hoping the cats actually eat the rat poison, trying to directly poison the cats. There's a list that goes on and on and on. The bottom line is, at the end of the day, for centuries, these things have been tried, and feral cats are still here. So nothing previously, it seems, Anne, has worked.
Yeah, not only has nothing worked, but we understand that the feral cats who are fixed and neutered, they actually have a better quality of life. They have less fighting. They're taken care of by a caretaker, so they're not actually searching out for food. They're not as much of a nuisance. So there is a problem that becomes contained very significantly, and it's a better quality of life. And I would say that if you met my colony cats, that you would agree with that statement. They're very healthy and happy and have a great quality of life.
Of course, a lot of people love cats. I mean, there are, 90 million pet cats in America. So someone must love cats, of course. They are, in fact, man's best friends, statistically, more than dogs. There are more pet cats than dogs. So if you want to get involved with what we're talking about, which is Trap-Neuter-Return, check out the book Community Cats. Anne Beall is the author. Thank you, Anne.
Thank you so much.